There are a lot of myths surrounding about dentists in the society. They are perceived as, what to say in Hindi, as khadus. They are perceived as somebody who, as a source of punishment. Okay, if you don't brush, we will take you to the dentist, and first thing he will do is put an injection in your mouth. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं रहता है भाई, ऐसा मत करो. That is from where dental phobia stems in. If you get a feeling as a patient that a dentist is not giving you a good ear, then I feel you should approach him and say, please be more patient with me. Please listen to me. I'm sure he will listen. Okay. If they have done it at a subconscious level, they will rectify it. It is my principle in my practice to give at least half an hour of consultation time. That is precisely why I charge for my consultation. Because my time is limited. I do not send anybody home 2 minutes or 5 minutes because I feel it's important to understand everything before I start any kind of dental treatment.
Oh, that toothache. Oh, I'm gonna put lavang. Wait. That taste, oh my god. Did you feel that? Yeah, exactly. That's why you need to go to dentist. Today with me, it's Rahul Ved, a Dr. Rahul Ved. He's a micro endodontist who specializes in particular aspect of dentistry. You'll be very comfortable with him and you'll understand why going to dentist is as important when you have a toothache. Most of us in India, we try to go for desi nuskas when there's a pain, right? Well, not anymore. There are a few things that we have discussed in this particular podcast about why going to dentist is very important and how you can trust and find yourself a right dentist. And there are only two ways: communication and trust. First, go for communication, see what kind of doctor it is. Are you comfortable with him or her? That doctor, the dentist, is answering you the right question, right answers for you, making you feel comfortable. Then you go for the procedure, and I'm pretty sure you'll be very happy with that. And he uses microscope. Why? How? What? Well, make sure to wait and watch all the way till the end to learn more about this particular episode on toothache. Welcome, Dr. Rahul Ved.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here, spending some time. I saw how many calls you were getting while you were here, and you have got that out and joining us for this wonderful podcast. We've been sharing a lot of things about dentistry and micro endodontist.
Yes.
I finally got it, and
Almost.
almost. Come on, man, give me some credit.
It's okay.
So we'll definitely be. That's the reason I'm not dentist, okay, or a doctor, or anyway, you're a doctor.
True.
Okay, so let's start this. I would like to know your journey and what you are, who you are as a dentist, and why dentistry.
So, my name is Dr. Rahul Ved. I am a micro endodontist by qualification.
Okay.
Now, micro endodontist is relatively very unheard term. Everybody has heard what a dentist is, right?
Right.
So, the journey of being a micro endodontist is an extension of being a dentist, right? So, to talk per se, as far as the education goes, so after your 10th standard, like any student who is entering into medical science, you have to give the entrance exam, right? So that is 12th plus the entrance exam. Then a dental graduation is a 5-year course.
Okay.
So unlike a lot of graduation courses which are 3 years in a lot of different fields, generally in medical science they are 5 or 5.5.
Okay.
So you have to spend that many years for graduation. Then depending on which institute you're graduating from, there could be rules fluctuating as far as serving a government bond is concerned.
Okay.
After that, you have to again give an entrance exam. You have to crack another entrance exam by which you can get admission into your master's course.
Okay.
So the subject I selected for my master's is called as conservative dentistry and endodontics.
Okay.
So in simple words, as far as a patient is concerned or somebody who is not from the profession is concerned, I'm a dentist who's specializing in doing root canals.
Okay.
Right. Once we finish our post-graduation, which is a 3-year course.
Okay.
So that means after our 12th standard, we have spent 5 years in graduation. 1 year, you have to take a break to crack the entrance exam. Then 3 years of post-graduation. So that becomes 9 years to achieve your master's qualification in dentistry.
Okay.
Which is a very average time period in any of the medical sciences. 9 to 10 years is a very...
Right.
And this is all subject to you clearing all your exams on the first attempt.
Okay.
Be it your entrance, be it your exams which you appear every year because you have to appear for a university exam every year. Right. So now recently in the past few years we have KT system. Otherwise previously it was never there.
Achha.
When my father was studying or when their generation, right up till about 2007. So about those years there was no KT.
Okay.
So in our profession, if you have not cleared the exam and you failed, you lose 6 months straight out.
Oh.
There is no reappearing within a month or so.
Right.
6 months break.
Okay.
And 9-year journey is the quickest you can achieve to achieve a master's in dentistry, the qualification of what you call as MDS.
Okay.
Then I further did my fellowship to pursue my passion of root canals to be operated under a very specialized device which is called as a dental operating microscope.
Okay.
Everybody has seen a microscope some point or the other.
Absolutely.
In their lives, just that they don't relate. Simplest microscope that you can see is a magnifying lens.
Right.
Okay, the simplest we have. Our grandfathers used to use as age advances to read their newspapers. Right?
Yeah.
The typical image of a Sherlock Holmes seeing everything through.
Detectives.
What is the idea behind it? That I see everything through a different
angle,
different approach. I see the finer prints. That is why you use a magnifying lens.
Okay.
Right? So dental operating microscope is a very sophisticated, high-end magnifying glass, so to say.
Right.
So when you train yourself to perform the procedure of endodontics, or in simple word, root canal treatment, under a dental operating microscope, and you gain mastery in that, you become a micro endodontist.
Okay.
So it depends. Like from where also you're doing a post graduation. Some institutes are equipped with it to train you during that 3-year time period.
Okay.
So you get a good base foundation. Sometimes you have to work hard for it. So I was very clear in my schooling days that I'm going to pick up dentistry. Somewhere around in my 8th standard, I decided, and this is it. And this is my career option. I was always keen to be in healthcare. I'm a third generation in my family.
So you come from family of
doctors. I do come. So, but that was not the reason for me to enter healthcare. It was an inherent passion. Like I have siblings. I have a sister. She never ventured into it. So our parents had never forced us that because we are one, so you also have to be one. It was never like that.
Okay. So ऐसा तो नहीं था ना पैदा होते ही मेरे थप्पा लग गया मेरा बेटा डॉक्टर बनेगा.
Not like virus.
Right. Yeah.
लड़की है तो डॉक्टर लड़का है ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं.
Okay.
We have everything in our family. So that was never the case. But I was wanting to be in the field where I can help people in pain. Right. So I was contemplating two options. Either I wanted to be in orthopedics. Or I wanted to be in dentistry because it involves good amount of engineering as well.
Right.
These are two professions. But then considering my personality and me having a keen desire to have a work-life balance, I had picked up dentistry because I have seen my father not being available at 2 in the night.
Right, yeah.
Which I never wanted to do.
Okay, and what does he specialize in?
He specializes in anesthesia.
Okay.
So
he's not a dentist?
He's not a dentist.
Okay.
Yes.
And I think your mom is also into
My mom is a linguist and a dubbing artist. She's done MA English and she speaks about 12 languages. So she's
wow. Okay.
Artistic side of things. So yeah, my grandmother was a family physician. So yeah, so I have had elders in my family to look up to as far as the profession is concerned. So that brings in ethics into your practice.
Right.
It's not about this. You can select whichever subject you want, but the way they used to practice, if you try and uphold the ethics, I think it's a very good blueprint for success because they seem to be shaking these days.
Right.
Like you find society at large complaining about they felt that they have been cheated or they felt that something wrong has happened, but they are not able to figure out exactly what
went
so
wrong.
There is a seed of doubt, right? Most of the people having a seed of doubt, and you have been successful in cracking that code per se, in the sense that they don't doubt you. And that's a very good blueprint for success, right?
That's true.
You become exclusive because if everybody is being looked at with that eye and you are not being, then you stand apart. As long as you are doing something which is not mainstream,
you can still find success,
right?
Yeah. So I have few questions here for you. So you said that even in dentistry or being a doctor, there's CAT has just came across where how many people do pass on their first attempt, or is it like CA where consistently pass karte rehna padta, and how difficult is
so
it?
The trends have changed over a period of years. On the span of last 30 to 40 years, dental education has come across two very dynamic changes. One is the intake capacity has increased a lot. A lot.
So a lot of people are trying to become
anyways
dentists.
Entering. So situation these days is such that a lot of places where colleges have been given permission to open up, intake is there, but the seats are not filling up. That is also happening.
Okay.
Seats are going vacant as well because it is a profession which is being isolated to the metro cities.
Achha.
The outreach, I feel there is far more scope to reach out. So
Okay.
as you enter into interiors and more facilities come in, probably it will make things much better.
Okay.
And the passing rate is nowadays not an issue at all.
Achha, okay. So people can
People
finish
do
in the
it.
first
Yes,
attempt.
yes.
Okay.
I cannot be very heroic about what I have done because it's a very normal thing to clear everything on first attempt. But there is a ratio.
Yeah.
By and large, the ratio is somewhere around, I would say, around 75 to 80%. 20% is still a big number. It's not
Okay,
like that.
understood.
But yeah, that is the kind of ratio. Like when we reached our internship, we were 76. The intake is of 100.
Okay.
Right. So yeah.
So it's definitely better and definitely can.
Yeah, not like CAs and all.
Not because
Not
you know
like
you always बोलते हो CA ने first में pass कर लिया तो वो
Yes.
हाँ हो जाती है isn't that way?
Yeah. So they have their own concept about it, right?
Right.
They try and keep in check the demand and supply and stuff like that. Actually speaking, we feel that there are a lot of dentists in and around because we are staying in a city like Bombay,
Right.
a city like Chennai, city like Bangalore,
Right.
or some of the other cities. But you try and venture 15 kilometers from Daisar Toll Naka, you'll find that they are less. So things are not like that. Okay.
Okay.
The place where I studied in Navi Mumbai, I'm from Dr. G.D. Paul Foundation. Did my BDS, MDS. I was a faculty there for 5 years.
Oh, wow. Okay, achha.
I've worked
Before
as
you
a-
started your own practice.
Yes, before
Achha,
I
okay.
started my own practice. So I was a faculty there, training students for about 4.5 years. We were getting patients right from Alibag, from Raigad district. This goes to show that they don't have access to good infrastructure few kilometers away from mainland.
Okay.
So we may feel sitting in a city that there are a lot of dentists, but actually India's population is humongous. No? Any number of healthcare professionals can never be enough.
Never be enough. That's true. That's true.
Also, we should consider out of, for example, if I say, when I say that we were 76 who graduated, the other 24 also graduated probably 6 months after us, right? How many of them have entered practice? It's a more important question,
Right.
right? When we talk about, say, we gave an example of chartered accountants.
Once
they pass, they stick to it, right? Some of them venture into law. Some of them
different.
Agreed. Right now, the trend in dentistry, first problem is the brain drain.
Okay.
Right? Our good minds are being taken away.
Why do you feel that?
So they see better financial avenues is what I feel.
Okay.
That is one. Also, I think that is the primary reason. Like in 90-95% of the cases. Some of the other reasons that they want to experience a developed country lifestyle, which is traffic free, pollution free, and stuff like that. They say. But I feel at the end of it, it's all about ambition. Right.
But then there's
I feel that is a right way of looking at it. I am not in complete agreement of it.
Right.
I feel there are advantages and disadvantages of everything.
Right.
I don't think India is a bad place to practice at all.
No, definitely. I think there's a lot of
There is
people
no
from
way.
states as well come here
Yes.
because of the factor of the pricing and all is much
100%.
reasonable in India than
100%.
there.
100%. And that is something where I feel influential people should also consider. I don't think there is a single medical or dental condition which cannot be solved in our country. You may not get it in and around where you are staying, but the real need to actually go away from our country and try and get yourself treated. In how many cases genuinely that is required, and how many cases it's a matter of choice.
But I think nevertheless, in
It's a
when
question
it comes to
to
dentistry especially, I think it's the vice versa. I think
Yes.
people actually come from states.
Yes.
Like not states, I'm talking about all over the world.
Yes.
People prefer coming to
Yes.
India, like because I think we were having a discussion the other
Yes.
day where one of your clients actually traveled a business trip
Yes.
in a business class and
Yes.
everything, enjoyed it and went back and still cost him cheaper.
Yes, it's true.
Right?
It's true. There are two aspects as far as Indian dentistry is concerned.
Right.
One is it's one of the most, pricing wise, it's one of the most competitive markets. In the sense, it's very good prices. If you see the costings abroad and you see the costings in India, there is no comparison. You cannot. There's just no discussion. It's no rocket science. Anybody who has a friend in abroad can verify the fact and check out. Even if supposedly it's done at one of the more expensive clinics in and around your area, it can never compare.
Right.
That is one. Second is, even if you see abroad, even if when the citizens over there, they are in need, they search for Indian doctors.
Yeah, agreed.
It's always a feedback you get where a lot of times they go about searching for Indian doctors.
Right.
Be the Middle East, be the UK, be US, be Australia, whatever it is. Because we still, with whatever is being projected in and around on print media, news, social media, whatever you see, we are well aware as practitioners, as seniors in the field, as to what are the misconceptions or the negative cases that are projected and the kind of ideas that develops the society's mind at large. But still, our country is better off as far as humanity is concerned. With whatever complaints you have, if you feel this is like not okay, you must try and experience what happens abroad, where you have to wait three months to get a checkup done. Right? It's okay to say that you may be skilled enough to handle a more complicated situation. Okay. And it's another completely different issue for the patient to be driven to a stage where things have become complicated. Right? So it should not be troublesome to get a basic prescription, nor should be an expensive affair just to get a letter which has the medications in place. We as Indians at last start appreciating what we are getting. We should always point out the issues.
Till the time it starts getting expensive here too.
Yes. And you should always point out what you feel that you're not unhappy about, but you should never disregard it. Okay. Never disregard what you have,
right,
and what you are being offered. So,
you think this is because of the insurance that I think in India dental insurance is not there?
Yes, I feel that is one of the areas where it should help the patients. I feel that as a clinician, it may or may not turn out to be in my favor, which is okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I am here to practice, right? Whatever the norms are set, I can abide, figure out my way, and still be successful. But if the patients are benefiting from it, and they will, even in the medical field where insurance are there, there are their terms and conditions are there. There are those cases where sometimes insurance doesn't help. All those exceptions are always there, right? But still, insurance does play a major factor there because here, even if we have to come for a checkup, they feel it is not justified. And this whole concept of getting free consultation and all this is frankly quite not good, I feel. It's okay, I mean, as a marketing tool, see, nothing comes for free in this world.
Right.
It's impossible.
Absolutely.
How in 2024 you can expect, even if you're going to a DMart and they say 1 + 1, they have made their money. I mean, come on, it's impossible. You may feel as a client you have 1 + 1. See, the person who is billing knows what to do, right? It's as simple as that. So I don't think, rather be open about it. For example, I always tell my patient, this is my consultation charge. So for me as a clinician to deliver 100% treatment, it's very important for the patient to cooperate, right? So if the patient in the first step is not able to trust even my advice, how will he trust my operating skills?
So why is that? How come dentist comes to be at the last of it, right? जैसे कुछ भी हो जाएगा, सर भी दुखेगा तो अपन physician के पास चले जाते हैं. But when it comes to your tooth ache, वो अपन बोले नहीं तो लवंग चबा ले, लवंग रख ले या I think whatever those desi nuskas we have. So why don't we do that?
We have desi nuskas for everything in our country, right? For headache, for everything there is a desi nuska, but everybody knows that you have tried it once or twice and you are worried, this could be life threatening.
But is it like when you
nobody perceives it like that?
Exactly. But see, when it comes to that level, जैसे अभी मैं बोला कि अभी अपने को mostly कभी होता है दाढ़ में अपने को दुखता है.
Okay.
Whenever we have like
pains in the molars, yes.
Major pain. Correct. And that's when we're doing that. But is that too late already?
See, one thing you have to understand, the teeth is a very resilient structure. Teeth, plural or single, is a tooth, right?
Right.
It's a very resilient structure. Our enamel, which God has created, is supposedly harder than diamond, and diamond is the hardest surface on earth.
Absolutely, is it?
So it's that hard. You have driven it to a stage where your enamel has gone. It's in 3 layers. The root canal just doesn't pop up, right?
Right.
It's very well protected. It's like that black money you've kept in your tijori. Very difficult to access for somebody else but you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So your enamel has gone. Then there's something called as denting, which is the second layer of the tooth. That has gone. And now the decay is entering your tooth. I mean your root canal. And now it is paining. That means what?
As you have already reached
unless in certain specific, there are specific conditions. For example, there is a condition called rampant caries, where the person is genetically prone to decay.
Okay.
Every month there is a new tooth that is decayed and it decays fast.
Okay.
They are in a lot of trouble. It's not their fault. They genetically programmed that way. Okay. It is possible.
Wow, and there are people like
that. Yes, very much. There are people like that.
Okay.
By and large, 90-95% of the cases when dental pain has happened, it is the patient who ignores the early signs.
Okay.
What are the early signs? Some food is getting stuck somewhere.
Okay.
Once it had pained, I've taken a tablet, now it is not paining. It had happened 2 years back. Now it has come back. So now it has come back means it should not be there in the first place. Now how it has come back? You can park a car in no parking and say, "I've parked it only once." Even if you parked it for the first time in a no parking, it's a violation, right?
Absolutely. You're getting fined.
You're getting fined. No?
Absolutely.
So it's as simple as that. What you can't do, you can't do.
Right, understood.
So when you have driven your tooth to that stage where it is paining and the root canal has got affected, means you're late.
Okay.
You should not be paining. No, the tooth is not designed to
It
pain.
shouldn't reach that level of pain. Okay.
And it will not pain off the chart one fine day. Like the first thing that has happened wrong in the tooth is the pain straight out. It can never happen like that. There are signs. Can the patient notice the signs always? Answer is no. Every time the patient cannot come to know.
Right.
Every time it is not necessary that food will get stuck.
Right.
Every time it is not necessary there will be sensitivity. Who will come to know? I will come to know. My colleague will come to know. Your job is to come and visit us regularly.
Regularly. So how? When you say regularly, once a month?
No, once a month is too much unless you find the dentist is very pretty.
Oh,
Then it's
course.
okay.
You're just going there for that.
Yeah, but once in 6 months is okay.
Okay.
That is more than enough. And I think it's the most. We all of us take insurance. No?
Absolutely.
It's all well and good to say dentistry doesn't have insurance. But say if you're paying 15,000 a year premium for your medical, even if you keep 1/5 of that money with yourself in a separate kitty, that becomes your own private dental insurance.
Dental insurance.
It is all that you need annually.
Okay.
About 3,000 to 4,000 rupees annually.
That's it. That's all you need for your
to
servicing.
get your checkup.
Okay.
And to keep a good, clean oral hygiene.
Okay.
If your hygiene is in place, most of the dental situations
it's taken care
are
of.
taken care.
Okay. But when does one start? Okay. After a certain age or since childhood, you should be taking care of it. How does this work?
The time to visit a dentist is when you have a tooth in the mouth.
That's so
6
till
months.
6 months. Okay. So you start showing.
First tooth comes at 6 months of age.
Okay.
Right? We've had cases where a 6-month, 1-year-old child teeth are already decayed. Dentistry starts when the child is feeding.
Okay.
Because the mothers themselves do not clean the child's mouth, thinking that the breast milk cannot damage it. It's not like that. It also has sugar. Right? So you need to clean the gum pad even when the child is feeding. My daughter is 2 months old.
Okay.
Her gum pads are cleaned every day.
Okay.
There are ways. Please ask your dentist. There is a separate specialization called as pediatric dentistry, which is very, very important.
Okay.
Just because milk teeth fall off and permanent teeth come in their place doesn't mean you can do whatever you feel like. Doesn't mean you don't need care. I have done root canal for a 2.5-year-old patient as well.
Oh wow, really?
Imagine. So difficult for us also.
Absolutely.
You have to first make the mother sit on the chair, then strap the child to the mother's body to keep the child calm. A 2.5-year-old child cannot even say the needle is paining. They don't know. When we give anesthesia, when we have worked, we cannot get feedback. Is there post-operative pain? Is the child comfortable when we are working? Except for crying, the child can't do anything.
We cannot
probably articulate a few words.
True.
So don't let it reach that stage.
Okay.
When can we as human beings perceive our relationship with a dentist? At around age of 7 or 8.
Okay.
That is a very critical time period.
Okay.
At age of 7 or 8, you are in the transition where there are few teeth that are permanent and few teeth that are adult.
Okay.
I mean, few teeth that are permanent and few teeth that are what we call as milk teeth. It's a transition phase.
Right.
The whole age group from 8 to 13.
Okay.
That is a transition phase.
Okay.
If you have had regular checkups during that time, you understand whether your teeth are erupting in a proper way. It's very, very important. Okay. It's important that the teeth get space to come out. As what we are observing as mankind is evolving, the number of teeth are reducing in the mouth.
Is it?
Because our grandparents, our ancestors used to eat a lot of raw food. They required those 32 teeth to chew on whatever they were eating.
Right.
No teenager today from Bombay City enters a farm and tries to bite a sugarcane.
Absolutely, yes.
So easily my grandparents used to
do it. Yeah.
They don't do it, right? Our appendix has become vestigial, right? In same way, the wisdom tooth is becoming vestigial over a period of time. You don't need those 32 teeth because you're eating McDonald's.
Okay.
You're eating refined food. Wisdom teeth are causing an issue. So that is the age to understand whether how many wisdom teeth you already have. Till the age of 13 to 16, you can easily come to know whether you will get them, and if you will get them, then will they come properly in the proper position.
Right.
That is also the age to understand whether you need braces or not.
Okay. Yeah, that was actually my next question. I was going to ask you that. So let's say when the kid is born, of course, the 6 months of age, we get the teeth starts coming in. Let's say if a parent taking care of their kids from that particular age, can braces be avoided? Or braces is something which would naturally be required?
No, it's not like that. So you can also take corrective steps at the age of 9 and 10.
Okay.
If you feel that some issue is going to come, the clinician will come to know that here the amount of space available is going to be less. It's far easier to solve at that time. It's nothing like that.
So at that point, you wouldn't need braces for your kids?
They can take interceptive measures and make sure that it erupt in the first place only in a proper position. Rather than they coming out crooked and then you straightening it. It's very much possible.
So they can save that much amount of money and the pain for their kids as well. Because of course the braces is definitely very painful procedure as well.
I don't agree with it. No? I don't think it's a painful procedure at all. It's a procedure which is anesthesia free. In fact,
no, I'm not talking about when putting it in. I'm talking about like for the 2 years time that you have something in your mouth, right?
Yeah, so it's fine. I mean, when something is there in your body for 2 years, it just gets assimilated. Okay. Sometimes some discomfort does come when you start off, especially when you start off
because of moving, the teeth is moving and all, right?
So some movements the body does feel, but the clinician can very well control the amount of force involved in it.
Okay.
And it's not an unpleasant experience at all. Everything new in the start is unpleasant. I'm a very avid cricketer. When I started to play, I got hit with the ball left, right, and center. So it's going to be unpleasant when you start. Right? It's okay. Today the ball doesn't hit my body. Very rare.
Very rare.
It takes a lot of effort. So it's okay. It's a matter of getting used to it.
Right.
The long-term benefits are a lot.
That's a lot. But then again, that can still be avoided. Yes. If you're taking care of your teeth or your child's teeth, because at that point everything depends on how the parents.
So what you are referring to is corrective treatment. Right. For example, the problem has occurred. Now we have to correct it.
Now I have to correct.
There is something called as preventive orthodontics as well.
Okay.
Which can very well be taken up by the age of 9 to 12.
Okay.
And things can be sorted out there and there itself. Yes.
Okay.
It's very much
that can be taken care of.
So that is why we say that your relationship with your dentist should start as early as possible.
Okay.
And dental decay and dental pain is not the end of it.
Right.
If these were the only situation which we deal with as dentists is just pain, we would not study so much. It can't be a 5-year graduation.
Absolutely.
5 years to study so much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So it's all about awareness that there can be other issues in your teeth apart from just you feeling pain.
Right. Right.
The dental apparatus is very forgiving. So we must never ever take feedback from neighbors and family for your own issues. Right. Even if it's a medical issue. Any issue in your body. If you feel the need, you want to ask questions, you want to know, please go and ask the correct person. Okay?
Don't go to Google.
Don't go to Google.
Don't Google. You'll find a cancer in your teeth as well if you go to Google.
So yeah, let's stay away from the internet. You can probably go back and if you have some doubt that your doctor has said something and you're trying to do a specific search on it, it can still turn out to be okay. But to blindly be the first source of your answers to your questions, it's better comes from a human being and from someone who is passionate about it.
But I think as much as so I've dealt with few dentists. One of my best friends is a dentist. I'm very comfortable with him as well. Only thing that I feel that in between where I had done some other procedures, the person that I was dealing with, of course, because my friend's specialty was not that. So when I was going through that particular treatment, like when I was asking questions, I think my dentist was getting upset and I wasn't ready to answer I'm like, why did I even do this here? You know what I'm saying? So is it some point of time that that's how all the dentists are? Or is it like a right dentist is very important as well?
There are a lot of myths surrounding about dentists in the society. They are perceived as, what to say in Hindi, as khadus, which is not true at all. Okay. We don't like being khadus to anyone. They are perceived as somebody who, as a source of punishment. Okay. Okay, if you don't brush, we will take you to the dentist, and first thing he will do is put an injection in your mouth. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं रहता है, भाई ऐसा मत करो. That is from where dental phobia stems in. It's not like that.
Because I think so many people
are experienced. If you get a feeling as a patient that a dentist is not giving you a good ear, then I feel you should approach him and say, please be more patient with me. Please listen to me. I'm sure they will listen.
Okay.
If they have done it at a subconscious level, they will rectify it. It is my principle in my practice to give at least half an hour of consultation time. That is precisely why I charge for my consultation. Because my time is there. I do not send anybody home in 2 minutes or 5 minutes because I feel it's important to understand everything before I start any kind of dental treatment for them.
Making a connection with your patient.
Yes, not just understanding what is their problem today. It's very important to understand what they feel, what are their expectations from a dentist, why they have not visited up till now, what is holding them back, is fear holding them back, or is negligence holding them back, is finance holding them back. If I understand what is their pain point and provide a solution for it, Today, nobody will not want treatment. Now, why would you want to be unhealthy?
Absolutely.
So it's your job to first figure out why he or she is not doing it. If you're not giving time, or if you're not a good listener, you can't do it.
That's true. Now, see, what happens is that sometimes you have already got that bad experience, right? About going to someone who has not listened to you, not heard you, not tried to help you. You were in pain, and they still were like, okay, or they have not answered you correctly. So, in between treatment, you cannot switch.
Right.
So, what can one do to make things a bit better with their current scenario? Or how can one find the right dentist also is a very, very important factor.
Right. See, by and large, I think most of the clinicians are competent enough. I don't think it's that big a problem per se. If you are facing something going on currently, it is very important not to jump the gun, first of all.
Okay.
Because at the end of the day, the clinician who has started the work will scientifically know what is to be done, first of all.
True.
And he will have a plan in mind. When you change in between procedure, you're tinkering with that plan unless something drastic has happened.
Right.
Right. If the soft skills are in soft skills means what? Way of communication.
Right.
Unwillingness to communicate or answer. If all this is an issue, I think a small conversation should solve. Okay, Doc, can you please be more patient with me? I understand I may be taking more time, but I will not be happy, or I am not at peace when I go home. If you've had that conversation, and still if things are not figuring out, then you have all the rights. To go to whomever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
But till the time I don't have such conversations, I think you should never jump the gun.
Right.
It's like any relationship, right? If you are having some problem with your girlfriend
communication,
and you don't tell her, and you assume everything to be fine, suddenly what happens? You break up after 2 years. ये तो सुनते ही नहीं है. अब बोलोगे नहीं तो सुनेगे कैसे? है ना? Or vice versa.
Are you comparing a dentistry and a patient relationship to actual relationship?
I feel any relationship, the principles are the same.
Communication,
The protocol is different. Some relationships are professional, some are personal. The basis and the foundation is same. No, communication, trust. These are the foundations. No, understanding.
Absolutely.
So we are humans, not at the end of the day.
Yeah, true.
So human to human relationship is always the same. It's not someone you are going to meet once and not see again. Your doctor you are going to see time and again.
Absolutely.
Family doctor concept in India is so old. Family dentist concept is so old. Why? Generations together, you're there with one person. On the basis of what? Basis of trust, no?
Trust and communication. Yeah, because you're so comfortable speaking to them.
It's far better to have a good clinician and an excellent communicator than have the best clinician in this world but not being able to talk to him.
True.
It's far better in any profession. So I feel conversation solves everything. Everything. And then you should also try and just, as you spend time, you may just accept certain things. For example, my wife may feel I'm a little direct in my approach, but she knows he's direct now. She's accepted me over a period of years.
Right.
I know this is the way she communicates. I don't feel bad about it.
Right.
So you should not jump the gun.
Okay.
I feel these days people are jumping the gun too soon.
Or maybe they're not able to just find the right doctor.
Because there are so many clinics around, no?
I think especially in the tier 1, tier 2 cities, there's a lot of it. I think tier 3 and 4 are still coming up.
Yes, they are coming up. So now people are taking decision based on who is nearest, who is not that expensive, and stuff like that. These are not the correct criteria. All of them are good. Whom you are clicking to on a personal basis, whom you are happy with, is the person you should stick with. We are practicing in near Link Road in Goregaon. We have patients coming in from Bandra, patients coming in from Ghatkopar, patients coming from Chembur, from Borivali. They're spread out. It's not like
it's not that they're coming in from the locality itself.
No, it's not like that. Those things are changing.
And I think as much as I've understood yours as well, that you have not even put up a big board. You've only relied on the referral that you're coming through your existing patients.
I run my practice completely on referrals. I want only and only my skills and my approach to be the marketing agent. My patients are my friends, and my patients refer me more patients.
Right, and
my colleagues refer me patients.
Okay.
The other dentists refer me patients because I'm a specialist.
Right.
Which we'll talk more about as the interview goes further.
Yeah.
So I run my practice purely on referrals.
Good.
It's true.
Good. So coming as we're gonna go into your specialty, let me ask you this, right? So can any dentist go and buy a microscope and be like, I'm a micro endodontist?
So any dentist can go ahead and buy the gadget.
Okay.
Yes, you need money to buy the gadget, which is very much available these days. If you don't have it, financial institutions help it. You can arrange the money.
Yeah.
Money is not the problem. In Bombay, real estate is the problem. Okay. You need space to put up a microscope.
Huh.
Okay. A certain amount of minimum operatory size is required for the whole atmosphere to be conducive to the microscope and its lenses.
Right.
Bombay is a humid city.
Right.
Any sophisticated optical device, even a DSLR, the lens needs servicing. Why?
Servicing, yeah.
Why we need fungus? Fungus is an issue in humidity climate of Bombay. So you need to orient your city in such a way that you can fight these issues so the gadget is maintained. That is one.
Right.
Second is that today's time, there is no boundary as far as dentistry is concerned. What do I mean by boundary? Boundary means an ophthal is an eye surgeon.
Okay.
And that is what they do. Right? Dentistry per se itself from start is a specialization.
Okay.
Right? When you are given a qualification, it's not a general qualification. Bachelor of Dental Surgery means you have already specialized in the
dentistry
operating procedures of the or the dental apparatus, right?
Right.
So you can train yourself. Now the question is, how best do you train yourself? For example, my personality, if I would have not gone to an education institute and put in all these hard number of years in my education, I would have not been so skilled. I like to think of myself to be now 8 years as a specialist, to be there and about as far as my skills are concerned. I would have not been able to do it. If somebody feels they can do it immediately after graduation and not go through the hard process, you can try it out. You will come to know whether it's working for you or not working for you.
But then again, even if they do it, they need to have that kind of special skills like you have acquired, right?
Yeah. So it's all about acquiring the skill. How do we acquire this skill when we are in post-graduation? We are not attending lectures. It's not theory.
Okay.
8:30 the hospital opens up. We are doing at least 20 procedures a day and the same procedure. Consistently for 3 years.
Oh, okay.
So by the time I finish my 3 years course, I've already finished more than 1,500 procedures, right?
Okay. So
then I'm entering into practice.
Okay.
Then last 8
and this
years.
is a with microscope we're talking about.
Yes, you can.
And I'm not talking about that. This is not the small table microscope we're talking about. This is a huge machine we're talking about.
The table microscope doesn't work at all in dentistry, right? And your institute should have it. And then depends on what career path you're selecting. Like I decided to isolate myself to this procedure to be the best at it because I was solely focused on. Idea was to solve pain.
Okay.
Per se, when we talk about dentistry, what comes up more on the internet is a nice smile.
Right.
There is a lot to dentistry more than cosmetics. Right?
Understood.
Cosmetics are also there. It's very important to have a good-looking smile. As long as you feel your smile is good.
Yeah.
If your smile is unhealthy, then that's a completely different issue. The biological need should always take more importance, is what I feel.
You know, there was this meme that has become of Deepika Padukone having the black tooth.
Yes, and a missing eyebrow. But
I didn't notice a missing eyebrow.
You don't notice the missing eyebrow of the model, right? So yeah, I mean, it's important. I mean, it's your confidence, right? If you can't laugh in life, then you are. And if you're not laughing because your teeth are not in a correct position, your confidence is low. As simple as that. So it's important. Nobody's denying it. Okay, but that is generally the only thing that is projected. The perception, no? Right? So it's like that. I mean, Rohit Sharma is known as the hitman. Why? Because he hits big sixes effortlessly. Doesn't mean he's not picking up singles.
No, of course he is.
You understand? So everything has its own place. So that's just the perception. But I decided to stick with dental pain because I feel elevating somebody from the dental pain is a far noble thing to do.
Okay.
And far more need of the hour. Because today also, even if it is Bombay city, out of 10 patients that walk into your clinic, 8 patients are being paid.
When you talk about pain, what kind of pain are you talking about here? And what is your specialty when it comes to micro?
So when we talk about pain, it is the kind of pain which is nagging, which doesn't let you work in the office, which doesn't let you sleep, which will not kill you. No dental pain can kill you so soon, unless it's very drastic. It's the kind of pain that doesn't let you live.
Absolutely.
You don't want to talk to anyone. You are not able to talk. You're not able to eat. You can't concentrate on your work. This is the time when you remember a dentist generally.
Right.
Even if you've not ever visited a dentist in your life, but if such kind of pain starts, you like to do it.
Naturally.
Right? And everybody wants to save their teeth. Now the trend is changing. 40 years back, 45 years back, people used to extract very दांत खराब हो गया तो निकाल और कुछ क्या है उसमें सोचने ऐसा है नहीं. It's not like that. Things have changed drastically. So why I specialize in this subject is that if 8 out of 10 patients are coming with this requirement, then a bloody will be the best at solving it. As simple as that. I know. That was my whole idea of picking up this subject.
Okay.
So this is the subject of, there are 2 or 3 branches in dentistry which can help you deal with dental pain.
Okay.
Depending on which procedure you want to master, you can pick up the subject.
Achha.
A root canal is one of the options by which dental pain can be solved.
Right, and that is what you, I think, specialize in?
Yes, that is what I
Okay, so
specialize
if somebody has a major root canal pain or
Right.
something like that, then they can come to you
Yes.
with ease of less pain.
Yes. So we are trained to keep the procedure by and large pain free.
Okay.
Make it a good experience, and that is where the microscope also comes into play.
Okay.
It's very simple. The concept is if you see better, you can do better.
Naturally.
Does every root canal require a microscope to achieve 100% efficiency? The answer is no. Not every root canal requires, but there are a lot of complications that can happen if it is not used, which you may not even come to know because you can't see, right? The size of a root canal is thinner than a hair strand.
Oh wow!
That's how small it is.
Okay.
And it's not one in one tooth. There could be n number of root canals in a tooth, depending on which teeth you're talking about in question. As you go from front to back, the number of root canals in a tooth increases. We have done up till 6 canals in a patient. 8 canals have been reported in one single tooth in literature. So it can be very complicated. A lot of other technicalities. For example, not every tooth is straight. Some of them are curved. So a lot of technical difficulties are there. So it's a foolproof mechanism if you're working under the microscope.
Okay.
Doesn't mean the person who is not working under the microscope is doing something wrong or doing something not that good a quality. It's not true.
It's just a different way of doing it.
It's a different way of doing, a far efficient way of doing it. Point A to point B, you can reach through various modalities.
Okay.
But how smoother the journey is, that also matters.
How much does the pain matter at this point of time when somebody is not using a microscope and you're using a microscope?
So we come across a lot of cases. Like 2 days back also we did a case where a root canal was done about 6 months back.
Okay.
But the pain was not going. And on the X-ray everything looked perfect. Textbook job, right? But I said, yeah, pain is not going. There should be something. We took a CT scan. The CT scan revealed some what we call as anatomical aberrations. Anatomical aberrations means what? That the particular structure of a particular organ is different than normal.
Okay.
Right. So there were some extra canals and stuff like that, which you can't see. If you can't see, you will feel it's not there, right? So if you're using it as a practice, even seemingly in routine cases, you can find such cases on my Instagram page as well. You will see that because of the microscope, we were able to detect this thing. Even if I would have tried and looked into it without my microscope, I would have not been able to see that.
Okay.
So it's nobody's fault. It's not patient fault. It is not doctor's fault.
It's just made in a way that you cannot do it.
An eagle is flying at what height, but he can spot a snake or its food or a rat or whatever it is hunting. Sometimes even below surface of water.
Absolutely.
That's his eye.
That's okay.
We say that man has an eagle's eye. If somebody is very sharp in shooting, क्या बोलते हैं? Arjun की आँख है बोलते हैं ना?
Right.
It's as simple as that. Right?
Okay.
So you cannot. So these situations can be avoided if the correct infrastructure is present. So we must encourage every dentist to work with a microscope.
Okay.
Is what I feel. I mean, be it an endodontist, and it's not the root canal is not the only procedure we do under the microscope.
Okay, there are other procedures.
Every procedure that we do routinely, I do it under the microscope.
So you personally do it.
I will do my fillings as well. I may sometimes even do my cleanup job as well. Nothing like that. Simple scaling also I can do. Finesse. It's all about finesse, no?
Okay.
Finishing.
So is there a way, so you said that, earlier that a lot of dentists also refer you patients.
Yes.
So is this the reason that they might not be able to work under a microscope or may not have an infrastructure for that?
So first of all, it's completely fine to refer a patient. You must understand, okay, if you have been referred as a patient to some other clinic, that means the clinician who is your primary contact, right? He is being absolutely 100% honest with you.
Right.
The problem is not that you are not able to solve a situation. Is it true that if there are 100 cases being referred to me, I know everything happening with all the 100 of them? It's not
possible.
There could be that one case where I have to ask my senior as well. The human body, right? It's a doctor leaves home in the morning and he tells his family, I'm going to practice. Never says I'm going to work. Every other industry, you say the person says, I'm going to work.
But the doctor says, I'm going to
What
practice.
does it indicate? It indicates the
Because
practice.
there's a new thing that is coming up every day, because every human structure is
Right.
completely created in a
Right.
different manner. No one
Correct.
human is same.
Right.
So every time that you're working with all these patients, like, हो सकता है कि कोई लोगों का pain taking capacity also matters. Right, like some
Yes,
people
it's
might
true.
be like कि उसको फर्क ही नहीं है. कोई लोगों को ऐसा होता है कि हल्का सा भी पेन होता है तो ऐसा लगता है कि
Yes,
वो
yes,
जमीन गिर गई,
yes.
आसमान गिर गया, ऐसा हो जाता है.
Yes, so why we have different pain thresholds in different individuals? Apart from being a separate physical entity, it's just a mental approach to in general difficulties in life,
Right.
not just pain. Okay, a lot of times you will find patients who are sensitive to the smallest things are sensitive to the smallest things otherwise also. Okay, so it's just a way of approach. Or in dentistry, most of the times it is to do with a bad experience below 10 years of age. That is something which needs to be solved. Okay, that the fraternity at large has to work to make sure that their experience in childhood is a good one.
But how many people actually bring their kids as of, like, you said that
It's much
the right
better now.
6. Is it
It's
better
much
now?
better now.
It's getting better
Yes.
now? Okay.
And also, like, personally, I feel it's such an important job that I let my pediatric dentist only handle it. I don't try and venture into it till actually my need is required per se, as far as our operating skill is there. But the pediatric dentist is more than capable enough of making sure, by large, everybody does good work. But the pediatric dentist can create that good experience for the child.
For the child, And they come to your clinic to practice?
Yes,
or
they do
how
come.
does that work?
They do come. We have a whole unit that manages the kids.
Achha.
So yeah, I mean, that is very important. So this pain, the journey of pain and phobia starts there.
Okay.
And then as adults, if it continues, then sometimes we are able to manage. Most of the time, we are able to manage without medication. But very rarely we have to come across where we need to give some sedative drugs to manage anxiety. In such situations, things can go up till that as well.
Like people, you have dealt with people like jiska it must be in a job of maybe 15-20 minutes, but it has taken hour and a half just because of the phobia that they have.
Yes.
Right. So how can one get rid of that dental phobia that they have? I mean, of course, we spoke about childhood. Yes. Abhi to ho gaya, I'm adult now. Like yes. I might still have it. So how do I get rid of that?
So it's very simple. You have to take the first step and come to the operatory. Rest of it we can manage. Right. So as long as the moment you have a couple of good experiences, the phobia goes away. Why the phobia is there? Because you've understood कि ये यार ये तो इधर कुछ दर्द होने वाला है. So वो नहीं होता है तो phobia गया करके है ना. मुझे हाइट का phobia है. मैंने पहला स्काई डाइव लिया, मैंने पहला बंजी जंप लिया, मेरा phobia
चला गया.
अगली बार और
So you have to take the first steps to finding it.
Like any phobia.
But then again, like coming again to the same thing where we are referring to the dentist, right? I think before you jump into the service part, like मुंह खोल के बैठ जाओ उनको करने दो, so you have a consultation first.
Right.
See if you're getting connected to the doctor and if he is able to answer your questions and all, and then you take the next step at least, right? Because I think, like you said, see, trust is there. Trust will eventually come when he is servicing on you.
Right.
But the communication part is going to be the first factor that comes across. I think that would be the first step to getting into the right doctor.
Yes, that is the first step. So you must explore in and around that. In general, in India, actually, the process is quite well sorted in the sense we always ask our friends, family, mother, father, best friend, wife, कौन है भाई तुम्हारे friend circle में?
Yeah.
So by and large, those things are set here. If they have not had a good experience, they will not refer you.
They'll not refer you.
So it's not that big of a problem. Like if you see, for our clinic, I also felt that our Google My Business page genuinely helps us.
Okay.
Because I have not done all my reviews are organic.
You have not done any. No. Do you ask your patient to leave a review?
You can call any person on my review page. He'll be my patient.
Oh, wonderful!
It's not difficult to find them on social media.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Okay.
So yeah, I mean, I ask them to leave a review. It helps.
Yeah, naturally.
Because today's day and age, the way of asking is changing. No, not genuine. Generally, it's not necessary you will ask your friend. You will probably ask the internet as well. So digital presence is very much important. And if you are true to your profession, make sure your digital presence is organic. I mean, it's not always about the number of followers. Even if you have 1,000 followers and not 1 lakh followers, but all the 1,000 are genuinely yours,
and the views are naturally good.
The biggest of industries, how many marketing team is of what size?
Oh, 300, 350.
So these 1,000 followers are your team, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's enough, no?
Absolutely.
Is it not enough? So it's enough. I mean, so yeah. It's no parameter for measuring the person or anything, but it's just the trend right now. So these are few ways, but still I think word of mouth is
the best
is
part,
the best way as far as our profession
coming to it.
is concerned. You know?
Now coming to your dentistry that we have, your wife also is a dentist.
Yes.
You guys work together.
Yes.
What does she take care of and what do you take care of?
So we work as a unit, and the procedures that I do, she doesn't do. The procedures she does that I do not do.
Okay.
She's the boss in what she does. I am the boss in what I do.
Okay.
Once we leave the clinic, I'm no more the boss. Okay, that is how it is.
That's how she's always the boss.
She's always the boss. She specializes in implants, and she heads our rehab department.
Okay.
We have a team who handles
what kind of rehab you're talking about?
Oral rehabilitation.
Okay.
Where teeth are missing. It's another misconception that is very much to be addressed amongst our population. That once a tooth is extracted, the things end over there.
When you talk about extraction, it's like trying the thread and onto the teeth and to the door and slamming the door.
No, that's okay to look at it on a reel. It's a very smooth procedure. It is not so barbaric, and I mean, once an extraction is done,
or you don't piss off your doctor, so he just pulls it out.
No.
Right?
However you piss us off, we are not going to extract.
Okay.
And because I'm specializing in saving.
Okay.
If I say that nahi yaar, ye abhi nahi ho sakta hai, then
so you have to take it out.
Yes.
Do you replace that with something else? Right?
Yes.
So that's the rehab you're talking about.
That's the rehab you're talking about.
Okay.
So yeah, that's very, very important. I mean, we should not take advantage of the fact that God has created the dental apparatus to be forgiving. कि तुम कुछ भी करो उसके साथ वो चलते रहता है
हाँ,
तो ऐसा मत करो उसके साथ. तुम्हारा एक आज उंगली भी कट गया तो जान ऊपर नीचे हो जाते हैं.
हाँ, अरे पेपर कट आ गया तो भारी पड़ जाता है.
फिर अभी दांत निकाला और यू आर सेइंग कि हम रिप्लेस नहीं करेंगे. इट्स नॉट करेक्ट. ओके, या इफ इट्स अ टूथ व्हिच इज नॉट बायोलॉजिकली इंपॉर्टेंट, फेयर इनफ. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू डोंट नीड टू रिप्लेस योर विजडम टीथ. Sometimes even the second molar, sometimes, not in every case. It's okay not to replace.
Okay.
But the other teeth, when you are extracting, you must replace them.
Okay.
And there are multiple options: bridges, implants, dentures, whatever you're opting for. Discuss with your dentist, discuss with the person who is doing your rehab, and make sure to get it done. Taking a break of few months to figure out a decision, few weeks is fine.
Okay.
But
don't take too long.
Not doing it for years on end. And then one fine day saying, okay, now I am ready. Now my body is not ready. Now I am not ready.
It's not gonna
as
happen.
A clinician, it's not going to happen like that.
But how about the tooth that you're putting in, or the teeth that you're putting in? How painful it is, how real it is?
There's nothing painful.
Okay.
Nothing in dentistry anymore is painful apart from a few surgical procedures that do post-op. Post-op means what? After the procedure. There's a recovery curve, right? Any surgical procedure in the body has a recovery curve, right? You cannot say I had surgery at 12 in the noon and 1 p.m. behave as if nothing has happened.
Right. You have to follow. Right? You have to follow.
Couple of days anybody takes. So depending on the situation, 2-3 days to a week's 8-10 days of post-operative curve is very normal. Nothing wrong with it, and it is not life-stopping or life-debilitating. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. If during the procedure things are done in a skillful manner, the post-op curve should also be
simple,
by and large,
easy to recover.
In fact, an implant procedure is far smoother.
Okay.
Far smoother job. People feel we are drilling the bone, we are placing some screws and stuff like that. That is the kind of language is spoken on. Which is, per se, it's true. That is the procedure. I mean, we are drilling into the bone and placing an implant there. But where else will you place an implant, right? You'll place it in the bone only. Where else can you
Where else will you do?
Right? So, yeah. I mean,
but then getting those injections and all into your, onto your gums and all.
Yes.
Can that be? So how do you do that, right? So are you like spraying something before to make us comfortable?
Yes. So we do use surface anesthesia first. Okay. To the side.
That's a spray that you use.
Spray or a gel. You can use
okay.
Also, now the needles have become so sophisticated. Like we are using 30 gauge needles and 27 and very thin needle.
Okay.
They're very, very thin.
Okay. So when it goes, it doesn't feel
very advanced.
Okay.
Anesthetic drugs have become very advanced.
Okay.
Newer drugs have come in. We are using certain devices. Previously, the only way of giving anesthesia was taking a plastic syringe and filling and putting a needle and injecting it. Okay. That was the only way. And the needles were also a little thicker, 23, 25 gauge and stuff like that. It's not the case anymore. You don't even come to know when the prick enters and when you leave. There are devices which are now coming in, which we are also using. They're very good.
Okay.
So
every step is getting better.
Yes. Now the anesthetic devices are playing music also when you're injecting. The patient's concentration is actually on the music and not on the fact that the procedure is happening.
Right.
So that's called audio analgesia is used, surface analgesia is used to make sure that we also ask the patients what kind of ambience they prefer. Like we are having white LEDs here.
Okay.
In our operative, we are having LEDs that can change their color.
Right.
If they want a lounge feel, we give it. If they want a particular kind of music, we play it. If they want the lights to be dim, we dim it.
Oh, so you're giving them a 5-star,
Yes.
7-star experience.
So whatever
Are you
things-
charging for that though then?
No, we are not charging for all those.
It's like, okay, the root canal is X amount and the lights and ambience is X amount.
No, I think India government is doing a good job. Whatever they are charging us for our bill is very much.
They're doing that. So you're ensuring that you're
Yes,
decent. How do you understand? So what happens is sometimes it's like we were before we started our podcast, we were talking about how important was it to understand that some of the procedures that you require, like some kind of results that you need. They're like, अच्छा ये कराना चाहिए नहीं, जबरदस्ती कर रहा है. So how can one ensure that this is required? It has to be done.
So I'll tell you how my experience, because I deal with, being a specialist, I deal with a lot of repeat procedures. Okay, हुआ है पर problem solve नहीं हो रहा है, right? So we are like the SOS clinicians, we are in drastic need. What is happening?
Right.
By and large, I find the reason for these procedures having to undergo repetition or the patient's problem not getting solved. A lot of situations, the primary advice itself is not being accepted.
Right.
The same advice I will be giving, because science is the same.
True.
And they will be listening because now they have suffered. So don't do that. Don't make that mistake as a patient, as to wait till the time you suffer. What is there? What will the dentist maximum ask for? Probably a simple blood report, a few X-rays, and max to max now we have a CBCT.
Okay.
Which is like a CT scan just for the dental apparatus, not like a medical CT. That's a separate machine. This is a separate machine. That's all. Beyond that, what investigations do you want in dentistry? Beyond that, there is nothing that any dentist will advise. So don't be reluctant, because the technology is there now for us to do a better job. But our use of the technology is directly proportional to the cooperation of the patient. So don't do that. Nobody is going to advise you unnecessary things. See, I understand if you feel your battery of test is running into lakhs of rupees. But if, so whatever test he has advised and the total billing of that was at some other place it is happening, not at his clinic, right? I mean, I don't tell my patients to go there to do X-rays. I just tell them you need this. If they ask me, I ask them, where do you stay? Okay, I'm staying in Andheri Lokhandwala. Okay, this is the place closest to you. So you go and do it.
Okay, so there's not like some kind of incentivization
no,
there.
There is no incentivization.
Okay. Like, because we think that usne se jaane bola hai, to it's an
See, patients think like that. They are very much okay to have that thinking. It's no problem, because such things have happened.
Right.
So there is no smoke without fire.
Right.
Absolutely. Which I understand, but that doesn't mean everybody's
following that.
So if the dentist is open enough to tell you, okay, you go wherever you want,
that's okay.
Means the matter ends over.
That's okay.
There are those cases where I feel, okay, no, please you go this only because I want this specific, which I will get there, then I will tell the patient.
Because you have a good connection with that particular person, you call and do that.
It's a particular situation which demands, I know that this machine has this resolution, so I want it to be done only.
Understood.
Yesterday it happened that there's a family member of a dentist himself. They are having some complications in heart. So I said, we need this scan, but you're staying here, you'll probably send over here. Please don't send it over there. I need it from this machine.
Understood. Okay.
Then I will say, you understand? So situation to situation, things change, but don't be reluctant to do investigations.
Okay.
Don't look at everything.
Let that happen.
Don't look at everything with a grey eye or with a filter, because what happens is that you have not abided by the advice. Fair enough. At that particular point, you are not able to trust it. Things will percolate. Things will worsen. And then who is suffering? And end of the day, who is going to suffer? You are going to suffer.
You're going to suffer. Patient has a pain, because pain you have to suffer, not the doctor.
Exactly. I can solve your pain, but I cannot feel your pain. I can empathize it.
Yeah, that's about it.
I can give you comfort. I can give you treatment. Everything I can comfort, but I can.
Right. Exactly.
And now my wife delivered a child, her labor pain. My mother also cannot understand, saying, I have given birth to 2 children. You can't do that. No, your pain is your pain.
Yeah. Again, as we talk about, taking pain capacity is also different.
Yes.
So
don't do that. I mean, by and large, if you have gone to that person after doing a background check, you should trust and listen to the
and stick with that one particular person, because they already knows your.
A lot of problems. I think this is one of the most crux areas right now in today's practice. Even as doctors, we feel a lot of times, yaar, ye baat sun lega to acha hai.
True.
So yeah, we just cross our fingers. Bhai, abhi humne to bol diya. So ho sakta hai. It happens with us. Happens with every clinician. Patient doesn't feel what we are saying is correct, they go to the next dentist. Fair enough, there is no problem.
That's
with
okay.
But at least listen to someone.
Yeah, but too many advices also makes you confused.
Too many advice also makes you confused. That is also there.
And then finally, again, you have to go to Google, Baba. It's going to give you cancer again.
It has happened in my practice that patients have come midway through the treatment. I have sent them back to the clinic. You've come from there, go back. You don't need me. And this is not the correct way to do.
Nah.
Nothing wrong has happened to you. It's just a small communication issue. Sort it out. Don't change your
But I think that is very. I think I'll tell you what my personal experience is. Well, I feel more than trust, more than see, the procedure was very good for me. I would not lie to you. The procedure was very good. I was very happy with the results. It could have been a bit better, I feel. But I think what I would have appreciated more personally would have been a better communication. I tried. It's not that I didn't try. You know, I'm a person that you've known me for a while now,
Right.
so you know that I'm good at communicating. I'm
Right.
quite straightforward person.
Right.
Like you said that you are too. So am I, and I do not have a filter of what I'm about to say sometimes as well. And I like to be like, okay, this is how it is. This has to be that way. So for me, I think communication had been better. I would have had a higher and better experience.
Right.
For me, I felt, yeah, you know, it was okay experience because again, the communication. Many times I came home to my wife and I was like, she's like, what happened? I'm like, I have no idea what happened.
Right. So that is why the microscope also helps us so much, because solving the communication gap is very easy.
Yeah.
Very easy. It's not that I am seeing, the patient is also seeing what I'm doing.
Just so while you're working on they can
Yes,
see
the
what you're
camera
doing.
records everything.
Arey, wah, acha, okay. So after once
So
they're
once
done,
my
okay.
job is done,
Haan.
I take out the memory card from the camera. It's blown up on the screen, and I tell them, see, this is what is happening.
Oh wow, that's
Once you
amazing.
see now, then suddenly it hits you, okay, यार ये तो हमें पता ही नहीं था. This is what is happening.
अंदर ऐसा दिखता है.
हाँ, and immediately the patients appreciate in the sense that they understand the finesse, the skill required,
Right,
how important it is.
How
It's
important.
such a difficult area to work with.
Hmm.
So the microscope doesn't just help me in my efficiency; it also helps the whole fraternity at large, because the patient then starts appreciating the effort, not just that I have taken, but also the previous dentists have how much efforts they are
They
putting
have
in.
taken,
Or
yeah,
when
absolutely.
their friend says, यार मैं उसके पास गया था तो ऑटोमेटिकली उसे के देख भाई ठीक है तेरे को ये लग रहा होगा पर मेरा ऐसा एक्सपीरियंस था कि बहुत डिफिकल्ट जॉब है
हाँ,
थोड़ा
understood.
शांति रख
Understood.
इतना जल्दी ये होने का
Chances वो नहीं.
हाँ डोंट गेट अपसेट सो सून ट्राई एंड अंडरस्टैंड द पोजीशन ऑफ द ऑपोजिट पर्सन एज वेल सो it's a very good education tool. My cases are seen by my students as well, so they also in turn become skilled clinicians. They understand that we will come across this situation. Otherwise, it's very difficult to impart education. Since I am doing one particular procedure, when I am barely able to see it, you think some students standing
how
over
will
my
they
shoulder
be?
can actually
Not possible.
You see, no, मुन्ना भाई मैं कैसा था?
हाँ,
तो संजय दत्त is saying, अरे मुझे कुछ दिख नहीं रहा है, मुझे भी सिखाओ, मुझे दिख नहीं रहा है. कैसे दिखेगा? So now digital era is there.
Right.
So in our conferences we do it. We have live procedures being done. So
Okay.
procedure, the special clinic is set up and the relay is done in the auditorium.
Auditorium.
500 people at large are sitting and
They're
looking.
seeing, and
through the
because it's
microscope.
there during a microscope.
Because
Understood.
once the camera is there,
Yeah.
the camera means the whole world is open to you. No?
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
are not held.
Absolutely. Is
Right?
this the future of dentistry, and what is it?
Of course.
What is
I
the
think
future of
the
dentistry?
future of dentistry is the way to go digital, and a microscope and the digital dentistry both go hand in hand.
Digital, how digital dentistry?
So digital dentistry is basically now whatever procedures we were doing manually, they're going to get mechanized.
Achha.
Right? So for example, our crown and bridge work,
Okay.
smile designing, laminate procedures, FMRs, implant scanning is there. So it starts with a basic setup of getting a intraoral scanner is a machine. It's like a very sophisticated camera which has multiple flashes inbuilt and it keeps flashing in your mouth. So previously we used to take impressions, put some trays in the mouth in which we carry a material which sets. Right nowadays, you must have seen this trend. People are creating impressions of babies' heads.
Ha.
The same procedure.
Acha, okay,
This
okay.
is alginate is what is the dental material which is being used. They mix it, they put plaster, make a cast. That's how we make our caps. No?
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that the human errors are reducing.
Acha, okay.
So the product that you get in hand is far more sophisticated, far more accurate. You know?
Okay.
It's like you feel nice to wear a ready-made shirt, but you feel extremely nice when the shirt is stitched.
So it's especially for you.
It's
Understood.
stitched for the body, no?
Yeah.
According to your measurements.
Right.
So you exactly have the amount of cloth where you need, exactly the amount of space you need.
Okay. So that's where
that's what digital
wise
dentistry
comes
is.
in.
It's
Okay.
customized.
It's customized.
It's
okay.
stitched for you.
Okay. And chances of less human errors. again.
Yes, chances of less human
Okay.
error.
Okay.
Communication with the lab is far easier. The number of logistics involved in it is reduced. For example, previously we used to send our impressions to the lab. The lab makes it, and the lab guy comes, or they put it in Blue Dart, and it comes to the clinic and all. Now these things don't have to work. Our one-way problem is solved. For
Solved,
example,
yeah.
I've scanned it, I've sent an email to the lab has done the job. Now they just have to send it, which is still happening by Blue Dart.
Okay, yeah. But then again, it's rather than two-way procedure, it's only one-way procedure.
Yes, it makes things.
The time also saves there a lot.
Yes. And now technology has come in. Hopefully, one day I am also able to imbibe it into my practice. Already there.
Okay.
People are doing it. It's just about arranging capital for the machinery.
Okay.
We are having milling units in the clinic as well. It's nothing like that.
Okay.
So you take a scan and feed the command into the milling unit, and the patient can actually see the cap being made.
Really?
In the clinic.
Achha.
Within 2 hours.
Okay.
It's in your hands.
Achha.
Right? But yeah, two things have to happen, like any industry in India. For the person using the technology has to become cheaper. In turn, it can become cheaper for the patient. For example, if you are using an in-house milling machine, then you have to charge for your ceramic caps anywhere between 15 to 20,000 per unit.
Okay.
Same thing through the lab can be managed at 12. Okay. And if that machine right now, which is available for 35-40 lakhs, becomes available for 10 lakh rupees,
then the price for things
for the patients becomes more effective.
Comparatively.
We also have to face all the issues which any manufacturing industry has to face. Like, machines are being manufactured somewhere.
So naturally.
So we are connected to the manufacturing industry. Okay. They are made somewhere, import license, import duty, whatnot.
Something or some
so
part of it.
Yeah, naturally. By which finally we as a consumer get the machine.
Cool.
And then things make it expensive. But nothing wrong with it. I feel you should not perceive everything on the charges. Now, for example, we feel that something that is costing 15,000 is cheaper than something that is costing 20,000. That's not true. For example, if you are leaving your house 5 times for the 15,000 rupees job, then you're spending time, fuel for transportation,
time, energy, money,
and that time which you have now saved, if you're giving it to your business, nothing like it.
Absolutely.
Or if you're not taking a leave, it's nothing like that. So you should have a in total approach. Today, if you have to change your house, do we see only the price of the house? Can we afford to buy a house and buy it?
No.
Do not do it. No? Even if you have crores of rupees lying in the bank, but if your daily commute is a problem,
absolutely.
Would you not still buy the more expensive house than the cheaper one?
Absolutely, you will. Absolutely. Because if there's a metro nearby, then of course the house is going to be expensive. Naturally. So
it's the willingness to spend which is important. You cannot perceive everything in terms of to the decimal. It's not a correct approach, especially in healthcare.
Absolutely. I think nevertheless, healthcare is something which is it's different anywhere you go. Like for example, even if you go to a hospital, any of your family members get sick or something happens, and if God forbid they have to be admitted in the hospital, you have to expect your bill to be at least minimum 1.5 lakh rupees, depending on the type of hospital you go.
Yes.
Minimum 1.5 lakh rupees is gone nowhere.
It's true, but the trends have been changed by whom? Who has changed the trends? For so many years, we were having nursing home practice in our profession. Now, the doctors don't want to do nursing home practice. Why? Like when my child was being born 2.5 months back, all that I was concerned was that my wife should be healthy. By God's grace, we didn't have to undergo any surgical procedures for the birth of my child. My child should be well taken care of once he's born.
Absolutely.
So during those 9 months of pregnancy, we made sure we've done our follow-ups right. We knew that there was no need for certain post-op complications will not be there. And this particular doctor is what we wanted. So we are going where the doctor is practicing. Not a place where we feel that we have not entered a hospital, but we've entered a 5-star institute. We're not going to a hotel.
Nice.
It's okay if the paint is not that great. It's fine.
As long as the service and the doctors are making you feel comfortable.
Yes. It's okay if there are no balloons outside my door. It's okay if they're not pink and blue. It's all fine. You can do all that at your house. It's fine. But now if that is what you are asking for as a requirement from the industry,
then you'll be ready to pay for it.
So not everything. You cannot expect to get it also and then not to become expensive also.
That's understood. Understood.
How it is possible?
Cool. I think we have covered a lot about the industry that here. I want to, while we were talking, although this is a bit out of topic I think you spoke something about your students.
Right.
So apart from what you do, is that something that you do training as well for your students?
Yes, I do take.
Okay.
So the whole idea of giving education is that there are 2 benefits. I benefit as a clinician because when I have to teach, I cannot be complacent. If I am not updated and I'm not at the top of my game till the day I retire, I cannot teach. It's as simple as that.
Okay.
That is one. So it works out well for me. Second is that personally, I have 2 hands and 2 feet just like everybody else.
Absolutely.
I have those 24 hours only. I also need my sleep. So there is only a certain amount of patients that I can see in a day. The requirement is far more, right? Of skilled professionals, it's far more. So how do I make sure somebody who is not accessible to me is still getting good quality care through education? So if somebody is imbibing what we are doing, or it could be anyone, everybody needs a mentor. So any mentor touches every person's life indirectly whom his student is catering to, right? So, and in our profession, everybody is a student. I'm also a student. So what is that? I went to do my fellowship last year. Nothing wrong. I went back to somebody senior to learn more. My father is practicing since 1980. He's here in 2024. He must be attending at least 4 to 5 conferences a year and attending programs to upgrade himself at age of 70. What is there? Every doctor
they
is a
can
student.
come to, so other dentists can come to you as well.
They are coming. They are practicing since 25 years. They are still coming. There is no hard and fast rule. I am also going everywhere. Just because I am mentoring them doesn't make me better than them.
Understood. It's just a learning process.
I have that of one particular procedure. If I have to learn something else, I go to somebody else.
Great.
We are all grounded.
Great.
As much as you see us above the ground, we are twice that below the ground. It's very important. Otherwise, you get overconfident. So that cannot happen.
So that's great. I love the fact that we can share this with our audience as well, where if any of the dentists are watching this and if they want to upgrade their skills or learn more, they can get in touch with you.
Yes.
Right? Great.
And they do get in touch through my Instagram.
Okay.
They do.
What is your Instagram?
My Instagram is @Dr. Rahul Ved _Endodontist.
Okay, great. I'll have this in the description as well. Now, before we end toward, go towards ending the podcast, I want to ask you a few tips and tricks that you could give to our viewers and listeners.
Right.
What they can do. Let's make it into a bit pieces here.
Right.
Number one, where how they can ensure that their teeth are always taken care of. Second, where what they can do to the teeth are always clean. Flossing, we spoke about there's a way of brushing.
So most neglected aspect of oral hygiene in today's times, especially with our generation, is the requirement for gargling. People are not gargling enough.
Okay.
By and large, people are brushing their teeth. Brushing is not a problem. Some of them are really lazy and don't brush in the night. And they will never be giving a justifiable reason as to why they are doing it, except for the fact that they give a blank look. That's it. Okay? But people are not gargling. This is a very, very dangerous lifestyle to have.
Okay.
To snack in between your meals is very, very dangerous. Dangerous for obesity, dangerous for your heart, dangerous for your teeth as well. You cannot keep munching full day. Okay? Munching has to stop under any circumstance.
Really? Okay.
Yes. I will eat lunch and I will eat a light dinner and that's the end of it. And a breakfast depending on my work schedule. Okay? If I'm hungry at 5 o'clock, I will be eating a fruit which is water based. That's all.
Okay.
If you want to munch, you munch. If you're not bothered about the weight that you're putting on, well and fine, that is not a dental issue. But then you have to gargle. For example, people say eating chocolates is bad for the teeth. Not true.
No, really?
No, not really.
Okay.
Eating chocolate again and again is bad for the tooth. I may have
Don't
whole bar. Whole bar I can have together. But if I have gargled it off within 10 minutes of me stopping the consumption, it will not cause a problem.
Okay. That is to your teeth.
Increase, okay?
That is your teeth.
It will cause you diabetes. That's a different issue altogether.
Okay? That is to your teeth.
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Right. Okay.
But as far as oral hygiene is concerned, so you're having wafers, biscuits. Office में क्या खाते हैं लोग? Chips. One of the most salted chips is like the culprit. Then we wonder, 35-year-old person working 18 hours a day, क्या हो गया? Cardiac issues कितना है? यहीं से आ रहे हैं और कुछ नहीं. Okay, that is one. Second is that to apparently pursue your life is very stressful, is very, very detrimental to your dental apparatus. Why? Two conditions. One, tobacco. Tobacco is highly prevalent. We have now giving such, one of the reasons of giving stupid reasons has gone to another level as to why you are smoking. इतना कॉल पे इतना घंटा बैठे अभी सुट्टा नहीं लिया तो कुछ नहीं होगा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होता है भाई. हम लोग मेरे जैसे भी लोग हैं भले हम लोग बहुत कम है. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I'm very happy. You think I don't have stress in my work?
Yeah, absolutely. I think same here. No smoking, no drinking whatsoever.
कुछ नहीं होता है. And what happens is that tobacco consumption causes an increased number of visits as far as a cleanup job is required. And tissues start percolating.
So if you are doing that particular thing like eating tobacco, smoking, then
yes.
So servicing
and
should
when I
be
say
more.
anything means anything, okay? Nothing is acceptable. It is not that I'm not smoking cigarettes, I'm vaping, it is acceptable. Nothing works like that, okay?
Right.
हुक्का चलता है, सिगरेट नहीं चलता है, सिगरेट बीड़ी से बेटर है, ये सब कुछ नहीं चलता है. No means no.
Right.
Okay. Divert all your stress into better activities. Pick up martial arts.
Play cricket.
Pick up kickboxing. Pick up whatever you want. Run marathons. Whatever keeps you away from a bad habit. Just financially, mentally, and health, from whatever point of view you look at, it's always better.
Better. Okay.
And no problem. We are also enjoying our life. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं. lot of time तू कैसे लाइफ खुश रहता है? बहुत खुश है भाई. ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है. Our
Tobacco is not what you require.
We are just happy because we are alive and enjoying our life. That's all. That's more than enough reason to be happy.
True.
It's all in the mind. So you need to train your mind.
Great.
Second condition which such habits percolate, stress percolates, is bruxism. Bruxism is now gaining a lot of steam. We are coming across a lot of cases of bruxism in our operating. It is the habit of clenching teeth in the night. And the patient also doesn't know. It is stress which is causing this clenching of teeth. So the dental age and the chronological age of the patient nowadays is not matching. For example, 35, 40-year-old people are having teeth which are like a 70-year-old. They're worn off because of clenching in the night, because of stress. And you ask them, they will say, we are not doing it. You ask the spouse, they will say, we are hearing now clicking noises in the night.
Acha. So you talk about?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
So wear off ho jata hai. It's a big problem these days. That is giving us dental pain issues, muscle pain, joint pain.
Understood.
It's creating a lot of issues.
That is doing that.
It's very much preventable by just having a stress-free life.
Okay.
So these are two things I like to point out. Brushing is okay. Flossing is also okay. All these are important. You don't have to do away with all these things. But I feel your in-between meal snack pattern is what determines your actual dental health and dental issues.
Okay.
You stop that and you are streamlining your complete healthcare, not just
the dental. So in snacking should be done mindfully.
Yeah.
And even if you are snacking, you have to ensure that you're gargling.
Don't eat things that stick to your mouth. Eat a watermelon. It is there.
And how about flossing? How important is flossing?
Flossing you can take up once a week. It's enough, I feel.
Once a week, okay.
Every morning to sit and floss may or may not be possible. It's a little time-consuming job also. And you must, but once a week is enough. And now the flosses have become really, really sophisticated. They're very easy. Not like before where you had to take a long thread, put it between your teeth, and they come now in a ready-made device. Something like a Unifloss. You put it, you can even carry it in a pocket. In a restaurant, go to the washroom and floss it off. Not a problem. It can be done.
Okay.
There's no harm in
just willingness to do it.
Yeah.
Just willingness. So we're coming to gargling after having snack or anything that you have. Try to use less or no tobacco whatsoever, less smoking. We're talking about try to reduce stress. You can do meditation for that. It not only will help you overall, just your dental, but also your full health wise. Brushing twice a day is definitely required. Sleeping before sleeping and when you get up. Is there a certain amount of time that you should be brushing? Like brush kiya ho gaya?
On and about an average round of 60 to 120 seconds is enough.
Okay.
You must remember, brushing your teeth is not making you late for office. So please don't ignore it. If that particular time is contributing to you reaching or not reaching, then you're not punctual.
That's true.
Don't blame it on the office.
On brushing
please become punctual. Okay. So having a bath, proper bath, giving good enough time for your shaving if you're a male, or a grooming, or brushing your teeth has to be taken into account.
Absolutely.
Okay.
How do you? Is there a way of doing a procedure?
So you must remember that you are brushing your teeth and you're not cleaning your house floor. Okay. You cannot move your brush in any direction that you want and expect the teeth to be clean.
Okay.
There is a procedure which you must go to your dentist and understand as far as the correct brushing technique is required. But you must remember, you must take up brushing in sections.
Okay.
Sections mean try and take up clean 3 teeth at a time.
Okay.
And your brushing has to be circular in motion.
Okay, like round and round.
Yeah, you're not rubbing a tile. Now you cannot keep the brush and start rubbing like this. It doesn't work. Okay. Some people think the opposite way also. Like I'm brushing for 10 minutes. Still my teeth are not clean.
Like
yes, there are people.
Wow.
So your teeth are not clean, but now your teeth are not there only because you brushed them off. You physically rubbed and removed an enamel.
It's gone.
It's gone. Something as hard as diamond is gone because you are applying all the force in the world, thinking that everything will come out. Doesn't happen. So that is what you can do. And more importantly, a 6-monthly cleanup will help your brushing efficiency even more.
Okay.
So the nooks and crevices which cannot be maintained, dentist will maintain it for you. As simple as that.
Cool. Thank you. I think we had a lot of good discussion. I hope awareness of going to dentist will definitely change after going to this podcast as well. And I personally feel more comfortable. I think going in further as well, I think first thing I'm gonna go through is the communication as well.
Yes, yes.
That's definitely required. The trust comes eventually when the good work has been done by. I have to ask you this personal question. Okay, did you get married to your wife because she was a dentist?
No.
And how did you guys fall in love? Like, is it like doctors and doctor hi shaadi karega? What is with that,
I
right?
married her for the person she is. Okay. And we fell in love because we liked something about each other. But it is true, most of the doctors get
So,
married to
do you
doctors
fall in
because
love because you like something about? Is that the teeth? Like, show me your teeth.
nothing like that. But it is just human psychology.
Right.
You're surrounded by other doctors most of the time, so eventually
That's what
most of the
love is.
doctors
That's,
marry doctors. When we take admission in dentistry per se, out of batch of 100 we are 20 boys and 80 girls.
Okay.
So most of the guys are married to dentist girls. Sometimes the other way around doesn't happen, but mostly you'll find a male dentist married to a female one. So yeah, this is the reason. It's a logistical, statistical finding. And you're surrounded by a friend circle, and by and large we generally fall in love with our friend circle. Unless we are not having a friend circle, then we are trying to figure out people outside that. Right? So yeah, that's the way.
So,
it's easier for us because we relate to our day-to-day problems.
Day-to-day
much
problems.
better way.
Exactly.
It doesn't work out for some people, like some husband wife don't practice together because इधर भी तुम्हारा शक्ल देखो, घर पे भी तुम्हारा शक्ल देखो, किसी को नहीं जमता है.
Understood.
It's just a personal thing.
Great.
But yeah, it is functioning smoothly because we have our duties segregated.
Good.
And none of us overlap into each other's job.
That's great. That's great. Your daughter is not going to become a dentist or
I
a
don't
doctor,
know.
right?
You didn't
put a stamp on her, right?
No, I have not put any stamp on her. She's hardly 3 months, not even 3 months. What she will become. As long as she becomes a good human being,
that's what it matters. That's true. Great. How can the viewers and the listeners reach to you if they want to get your
you can reach to me on my Instagram handle, or you can search our clinic name, The Amazing Smile Center.
Okay.
It's on Goregaon Link Road. Okay. And you will find all the details there on Google as well.
Great.
On my business page. And I generally reply to my DMs. I don't ignore them.
Great.
So, because
cool. I guess, I hope that you guys had this amazing, awesome, fun-filled dentist talk with Dr. Rahul Ved. I've done my level best to ensure that I've covered all the questions that I had found on internet that people were asking for when it comes to dentistry and why is it important, and sometimes it causes a lot, sometimes it does not. But I hope that we have answered all your questions there. And if you have still here till the end of the podcast, I really appreciate to you guys. Thank you so much. I'm truly grateful to you for that. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Kabirr Vani. Subscribe to my YouTube channel at Kabirr Vani. Until next time, Dr. Rahul Ved, I appreciate your time to come here today and giving so much time today.
Thank you so much. The pleasure is all mine. The dentist is your friend. Please hang out with us.
Dentist is your friend. Please hang out with them. Go meet Rahul Ved. He's really fun. He looks strict, but he's not. I know him personally. So till next time on Kabirr Vani.